Welcome back to the Keto family. Today we're making low-carb macadamia spice muffins. If this is your first time with us, don't forget, hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. Alright my lovelies, as a reminder before we get started, everything I'm using today you're going to find right down there in the description below. And then at the end of the video, you'll find a nutritional information card that gives you an idea of what to expect with these muffins. Now these muffins are great snacks. You can use them as breakfast replacements, something in the evenings when you're feeling a little snacky after dinner but don't want anything heavy. These are absolutely perfect. We like to use these as breakfast replacements on those busy mornings when you're getting ready for work or for school and it's just not time to cook anything. My dog can run in here, grab one of these and head out the door and be perfectly fine until lunch. Alright, that being said, let's get started. We're going to start off with our dry ingredients, mixing them all together. I have 2 cups of almond flour here. It has been sifted, and the risk of sounding like a broken record, always make sure you sift your powders and your flours so you don't get any lumps or bumps in there. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, which has also been sifted. I've got a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. You can also use guar gum instead. Now you don't have to use this, but I find these muffins can be a bit crumbly if you don't, so it's always a good idea to give them just a little bit of firmness to that. Alright, so the next ingredient I'm going to use is going to be half a cup of ground flaxseed meal. It doesn't matter if you use the brown or the golden, whatever you prefer. I've got brown in here today. And then the sweetener. You can use your sweetener of choice for this. I'm using granular monk fruit here. It's a half a cup's worth. You can adjust that up or down as you see fit. If you don't want them very sweet, of course you can adjust it down. But if you're using a different sweetener, just keep in mind how your sweetener sweetens because it might be a little stronger or less stronger than this that I'm using today. Alright, now comes my spices. In here I've got a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, I got a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, and I also add a 1/4 teaspoon of no salt. If y'all know me, y'all know I like the no salt as a high potassium content. And for those of us that get a lot of leg cramps and such, it really helps out because I don't know about you, but I am not eating bananas anymore. Alright, now we're just going to give all this a quick stir together to get it all incorporated. Alright guys, so now it's time to add our wet ingredients into here. I've got 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. I've got 3 tablespoons of water. And I got 2 large eggs that's already been beaten. Alright, we're just going to mix all this together and form our batter. Alright, so this batter is all combined together. Next I'm going to add my macadamia nuts. I got 1/3 cup of coarsely chopped macadamia nuts. I did chop these by hand with a knife, but if you prefer not to, that's perfectly fine. You can always put them in a food processor and pulse them a little bit, or put them in a Ziploc bag and just bang on them with a meat mallet, get some of that frustration out. And I almost forgot the last thing I wanted to add. I got some maple syrup extract here. I want to add about a half a teaspoon's worth, maybe 5 or 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said half a teaspoon, that's 1/8 of a teaspoon's worth. About 6 drops, give or take a little bit. That just really adds to the flavor profile of this. You don't have to put that in if you don't want to, but I find it does really help this recipe out. Alright, we're folding in the macadamia nuts and getting that molasses all incorporated into it. I would preferably put that in when I put the wet ingredients in. I just forgot it sitting over there. There's a little small bottle. Alright, easy breezy. The batter is ready to go. Alright, I've already got a muffin pan here that has been lined with little papers, you know, the muffin papers. So we're going to go ahead and just divide this up into the muffin. Alright, now that I've gotten all the muffin wells filled, I'm just going to smooth it down a little bit with a spoon. I want these to be as pretty as possible when I'm done. You don't have to do this, but I think it just makes them a little bit nicer looking in the end. Alright, lovely. So I have finished getting all these muffins smoothed down all nice and pretty like I like them. And you don't have to do this stuff, but it's something a little extra I like to do. I got some Swerve brown sugar replacement here. And I just like to sprinkle just a touch on these to give it that little extra pop of flavor and sweetness. So don't go too overboard with the sweetener that you put in it if you're going to add this on top also. But just a little sprinkle. That's easier said than done because this Swerve brown sugar is a little bit on the sticky side, but it's not too difficult. finished sprinkling the top of these with a little bit of that swerve brown. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bake these in the oven. I've already got it preheated to 350 degrees. And these are gonna bake about 20-25 minutes, depending on your oven. It might give or take a little bit. I'm gonna pop these in. I'll see you back in a few minutes when they're done. All right, lovely. So these just came out of the oven. They cooked right at 24 minutes for me. I took them out when they started to get nicely light and browned around the edges. I'm gonna let these cool off and I'll show you what they look like in just a few minutes. So I have let about 15 minutes pass and these muffins have cooled off nicely. And there were 12 here, but my daughter snuck in meanwhile and snagged one, claiming that she was in danger of immediate starvation if she didn't immediately have one. And I wouldn't want her to expire, so I let her sneak it off. But these are all nice and done and so delicious, guys. Break one in half. Here you go. See, they're not crumbly at all. They keep their shape nicely. And so delicious. Alright, lovelies, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget, leave me a thumbs up down below. And don't forget, you can share this video with anybody you know can use a great low-carb macadamia spice muffin recipe. Until next time, guys. Bye.